The earth in Gaza is heavy with secrets. It is a soil saturated not only with salt water and sewage, but with the blood of generations. Today, on August 17, 2025, we look at the fresh scars atop the old wounds, and we find stories buried with the dead. We find the mass graves at Nasser Hospital and Al-Shifa. They were not filled with fighters. They were filled with doctors, nurses. The skies over Gaza have rained down a unique form of hell, engineered in the sterile laboratories of Western defense contractors. We must speak of the weapons, for they tell a story. We must speak of white phosphorus. The Israeli military calls it a smokescreen, but the doctors in Gaza's collapsing hospitals know its other truth. Then there are the thermobaric bombs, also known as vacuum bombs. They do not simply explode, they incinerate. As these atrocities unfold on the ground, a second war is waged online. When images of children burned by white phosphorus or pulled from rubble after a thermobaric strike surface, a digital army of sensors goes to work. In the grim calculus of Israeli military occupation, the life of a Palestinian child is an expendable commodity. We all remember the haunting image of 12-year-old Mohammed al-Dura as a storm of bullets, confirmed by investigations to have come from an Israeli position, ended his life. The war on these children extends into the shadows of military prisons. Here, they face interrogation without a parent or lawyer present. In 2021, the computers and hard drives containing years of painstaking investigation into the abuse of child prisoners were stolen from the offices of Al-Haq and Defense for Children International, Palestine during military raids. The shield of an American passport, so often a symbol of protection, dissolves when held by a Palestinian or an activist who dares to stand in the way of the Israeli military machine. Then there is the unforgettable case of Rachel Corrie. In 2003, the 23-year-old activist from Olympia, Washington, stood in front of a Caterpillar D9 bulldozer. The message was clear. The life of an American citizen is expendable when weighed against the strategic interests of an ally. This demonstrates a horrifying truth. In the eyes of the U.S. foreign policy establishment, some American lives are worth more than others. In the labyrinthine geopolitics of the Middle East, the official narratives presented to the public are often a thin veneer over a much murkier reality of shared interests and covert cooperation. Yet, a strange and consistent pattern of events on the Golan Heights told a completely different story. United Nations observers stationed on the Golan Heights documented years of regular direct contact between Israeli soldiers and Syrian rebels. Wounded jihadis were routinely transported across the border into Israel, treated in Israeli hospitals, and then sent back to the battlefield. Major geopolitical crises do not happen in a vacuum, and they often cast long financial shadows before they occur. The days leading up to the attacks of September 11, 2001 and October 7, 2023 were marked by extraordinary and highly suspicious trading activity in global financial markets. In the week before 9/11, an unprecedented volume of put options, bets that a stock's price will fall, were placed on American and United Airlines. The volume was so extreme, in some cases over 40 times the daily average, that it represented a statistical near impossibility. History echoed itself with eerie precision in the days before the Hamas attack on October 7, 2023. They are financial vultures who circle impending disasters. It reveals a nexus of intelligence, finance, and terror where mass death is just another variable in a risk assessment model, and the profits from premeditated slaughter flow silently into untraceable accounts, far from public scrutiny.